What if I told you that right now, inside your kitchen, there's a simple food that can do something extraordinary? Something scientists have been studying for decades. I'm talking about the power to help your body fight back against one of the most feared diseases in the world, cancer. See, your body is not defenseless. You have an army of cells, blood vessels, and immune responses designed to protect you. But here's the thing. They can only win the battle if you give them the right fuel. Today, you'll discover a natural food that can switch off the signals cancer cells use to grow and even trigger them to self-destruct. This isn't hype. This is science, and it's happening inside people just like you. From the moment you wake up to the time you fall asleep, there's a silent, unseen battle taking place inside your body. Millions of cells are dividing, renewing, and replacing old ones. This is normal. It's how you stay alive. But within this constant process of renewal, a few cells can go rogue. They can mutate, ignore the natural rules that govern growth, and begin to multiply at an alarming rate. Left unchecked, these cells can form what we fear most: cancer. What many people don't realize is that your body is equipped with an extraordinary natural defense system designed to find these abnormal cells and eliminate them before they have a chance to cause harm. It's not just your immune system, although that's a key player. It's also the intricate network of blood vessels, chemical signals, and repair mechanisms that work together around the clock to keep you healthy. Think of it as a high-tech security system operating inside you at the cellular level. Your immune system acts like an elite team of guards patrolling every inch of your body. They're trained to recognize anything that doesn't belong. Cells that look suspicious, viruses that invade, bacteria that sneak in. When they find a cell that has mutated, they don't just watch it, they attack it. Killer T cells, natural killer cells, and specialized white blood cells work in unison to destroy the threat. But they aren't working alone. There's another crucial factor: your body's control over its blood supply. For any cell, healthy or harmful, to grow, it needs access to nutrients and oxygen, which are delivered through blood vessels. Without that supply, no cell can expand into something larger or more dangerous. This is where your body's defense system shows its brilliance. It has the ability to regulate the growth of blood vessels, a process known as angiogenesis. In healthy situations, this process is perfectly balanced. Blood vessels grow when you need them, like during wound healing, and they are pruned away when you don't. But cancer cells are clever. They can send out signals that hijack this process, tricking your body into growing new blood vessels directly toward them. Once that happens, it's like giving the enemy a direct supply line. They get fed, they grow faster, and they spread. The good news is your body also has built-in ways to stop this hijacking. Inside you are compounds, enzymes, and cellular responses specifically designed to cut off the blood supply to these rogue cells. When these systems are strong and active, they can literally starve cancer cells before they become a threat. But here's the part that often gets overlooked. Your daily choices have a massive influence on how well these defense systems work. What you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you handle stress can either strengthen your body's surveillance system or weaken it. It's not just about avoiding harmful things, it's about actively feeding your body with the right nutrients so these defense mechanisms operate at full capacity. Scientific research has shown that certain natural compounds found in everyday foods can enhance your body's ability to detect and destroy abnormal cells. These compounds can boost the activity of immune cells, reduce inflammation that might otherwise fuel cancer growth, and interfere with the signals cancer cells use to create their own blood supply. When you understand that your body already has the tools to fight cancer, and that you can directly influence those tools through what you eat, the entire idea of prevention becomes less mysterious and more empowering. You're not powerless, you're part of the process. Every bite you take can either fuel the enemy or support the army that's working tirelessly inside you. And when you consistently choose foods that activate your natural defenses, you give your body the best chance possible to identify and destroy cancer cells at their earliest, most vulnerable stage. Cancer, like any living thing, needs nourishment to survive. At the heart of its growth strategy lies a process called angiogenesis, the creation of new blood vessels. Under normal circumstances, angiogenesis is one of the body's most vital and beneficial functions. It allows wounds to heal by sending fresh blood to the injured area. It helps grow new tissue when you've been injured or after surgery. It even plays a role in reproduction and the body's ability to adapt to change. This process is tightly controlled by a balance of signals that tell the body when to start and when to stop building new blood vessels. But cancer cells have learned to exploit this mechanism for their own survival. When a cluster of abnormal cells begins to form, it cannot grow larger than the head of a pin without establishing its own blood supply. The cancer sends out molecular signals, essentially a chemical SOS, to nearby blood vessels, commanding them to grow toward the tumor. These signals override the body's natural off switch for angiogenesis, allowing blood to flow directly into the tumor, carrying oxygen and nutrients. Once this lifeline is in place, the tumor can grow rapidly and even release cancer cells into the bloodstream, enabling them to spread to other parts of the body. Without angiogenesis, many cancers would remain too small to be detected or to cause harm. With it, they gain a dangerous advantage. The challenge, and the opportunity, lies in the fact that angiogenesis is not an all or nothing process. It can be influenced, slowed, or even reversed. Scientific studies have demonstrated that certain compounds found in natural foods have the ability to inhibit abnormal angiogenesis. These compounds work by blocking the signals that cancer cells use to recruit new blood vessels. They also strengthen the surrounding healthy tissues, making it more difficult for tumors to invade. By cutting off the nutrient and oxygen supply, these foods essentially starve the cancer cells, forcing them into a state where they can no longer expand. The fascinating part is that this approach does not damage healthy cells or normal blood vessel growth when regulated properly. Unlike chemotherapy, which can harm both healthy and cancerous cells, targeting angiogenesis through natural dietary compounds is a more selective strategy. It's like building a precision lock on your body's blood vessel system, keeping the right ones open while shutting down the ones that are feeding disease. This concept has been validated in laboratory experiments, animal studies, and human observations, showing that populations with diets high in these protective foods often have lower rates of certain cancers. It's also important to understand that angiogenesis is not only a factor in cancer, it plays a role in other diseases such as age, related blindness, obesity, and certain inflammatory conditions. This means that foods which help regulate blood vessel growth are beneficial for overall health, not just cancer prevention. By influencing angiogenesis in your favor, you're not just attacking one problem. You're strengthening the resilience of your body's systems as a whole. One reason why diet has such a powerful effect on angiogenesis is that these foods deliver bioactive compounds directly into your bloodstream. Once absorbed, these compounds can circulate throughout the body, reaching areas that might not even be showing signs of disease yet. They act quietly and continuously, maintaining the balance that keeps angiogenesis under control. This is a proactive approach, addressing the conditions cancer needs to thrive before it has the chance to take hold. Every meal is an opportunity to deliver these protective molecules into your system, reinforcing the barriers that cancer cells must overcome in order to grow. Over time, The consistent presence of these compounds can make it much harder for tumors to ever establish the lifelines they depend on for survival. Among the vast variety of foods available to us, there are certain ones that stand out because of their remarkable impact on health at the cellular level. These are not exotic, hard-to-find superfoods known only to a few often. They are simple, everyday items sitting right in your kitchen or available at your local market. The food in focus here has been studied extensively for its ability to influence how cancer cells behave inside the body. Packed with bioactive compounds, it does more than just provide vitamins and minerals. It delivers powerful natural chemicals that can disrupt the very processes cancer cells rely on for survival. One of the most important features of this food is its high concentration of phytochemicals, which are plant-based compounds with biological activity in the human body. These phytochemicals can act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals before they damage DNA and trigger harmful mutations. They can also act as anti-inflammatory agents, calming chronic inflammation that might otherwise feed tumor growth. Beyond these general benefits, research has shown that the compounds in this food can specifically interfere with the cancer cell's ability to grow new blood vessels, a process essential for tumors to expand beyond a microscopic size. Laboratory studies using both cell cultures and animal models have demonstrated how extracts from this food can cause cancer cells to slow their rate of division. Some compounds within it can even trigger apoptosis, which is the scientific term for programmed cell death, a built-in safety mechanism that tells damaged or abnormal cells to self-destruct before they become dangerous. Cancer cells often try to avoid apoptosis, but the bioactive molecules in this food can push them back toward that natural fate. What makes this food especially interesting is its effect across multiple types of cancer. While some foods show benefits for one specific kind of cancer, this one has demonstrated potential in studies involving cancers of the breast, prostate, colon, and even certain blood cancers. The versatility of its protective effects suggests that it works through more than one pathway in the body. For example, while one compound might reduce inflammation, another might block enzymes that cancer cells use to break down surrounding tissues, preventing them from spreading. Another factor to consider is how this food interacts with the immune system. Some of its compounds have been shown to enhance the activity of natural killer cells, specialized immune cells that patrol the body looking for signs of infection or abnormal cell growth. When these immune cells encounter a cancer cell, they can release enzymes that puncture the cancer cell's membrane, leading to its destruction. By supporting the function of these natural defenders, this food essentially trains the immune system to be more effective in identifying and eliminating threats. The anti-cancer properties of this food are not limited to its phytochemical content alone. It's also a rich source of fiber, which plays a role in maintaining a healthy gut microbiome. The gut is increasingly recognized as a major player in immune function, and a healthy microbiome can help regulate inflammation and improve the body's overall ability to resist disease. In addition, fiber supports regular elimination, which can help reduce the amount of time potential carcinogens stay in contact with the cells lining the digestive tract. Scientists have also observed that the compounds in this food can work synergistically with other protective foods, meaning that when eaten as part of a varied and balanced diet, its benefits may be amplified. The cumulative effect of these interactions can create a stronger barrier against cancer cell development and growth. By combining it with other foods known for their anti-angiogenic, antioxidant, and immune-boosting properties, you're not just relying on one mechanism. You're creating multiple layers of defense inside your body. Scientific evidence is the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern understanding, turning observations about food into proven strategies for health. Over the past few decades, researchers around the world have studied the relationship between diet and cancer at an unprecedented level of detail. Large population studies, laboratory experiments, and clinical trials have all contributed to a growing body of data showing that certain foods can directly impact cancer cell survival. The food we are focusing on has repeatedly stood out in these studies, not only for its nutrient profile, but for its measurable effects on cancer biology. In laboratory settings, scientists often begin by isolating compounds from the food and testing them on cancer cells in controlled environments. What they have observed is striking. Exposure to these compounds can reduce the rate of cancer cell growth, disrupt their ability to form blood vessels, and in some cases, cause the cells to undergo programmed death. This effect is not limited to one cancer type. Studies have documented similar responses in cell lines from breast, colon, lung, and prostate cancers, as well as certain blood cancers. These findings give researchers a foundation for exploring how the same effects might occur in the human body. Animal studies provide the next layer of insight. By incorporating this food into the diets of animals predisposed to developing tumors, scientists can observe changes in tumor size, progression, and spread. In many experiments, animals given a diet rich in this food develop fewer tumors, and the tumors that do form tend to grow more slowly and remain smaller. The ability to slow tumor growth is especially significant, as it can make other treatments more effective and reduce the chances of cancer spreading to other parts of the body. Human studies bring the strongest and most practical evidence. In some cases, these are large observational studies that track dietary patterns and health outcomes in thousands of people over many years. Such research has found that individuals who regularly consume this food have a lower risk of certain cancers compared to those who rarely eat it. This association remains strong even when accounting for other lifestyle factors like exercise, smoking, and overall diet quality. In other cases, clinical trials have tested specific extracts or supplements derived from the food, with results showing measurable improvements in biological markers related to cancer risk, such as reduced inflammation, improved immune function, and lower levels of blood vessel growth factors. One reason this food has attracted so much attention is that its protective effects have been observed across different cultures and dietary traditions. Whether consumed raw, cooked, dried, or as part of a traditional dish, the benefits appear consistently in populations where it is eaten regularly. This suggests that its key compounds are stable enough to retain their activity under various preparation methods, making it practical for daily consumption. Beyond direct anti-cancer effects, researchers have noted that people who include this food in their diets tend to have better overall metabolic health. Lower blood sugar levels, improved cholesterol profiles, and reduced markers of chronic inflammation are all linked to a reduced cancer risk. Chronic inflammation, in particular, is a known driver of tumor development, and by lowering it, this food indirectly helps create an internal environment less favorable to cancer cell survival. The scientific consensus is growing, supported by both mechanistic studies explaining how the food works in the body and epidemiological data showing real-world benefits. The combination of anti-angiogenic properties, immune-enhancing effects, and the ability to reduce DNA damage positions this food as a valuable ally in cancer prevention and management. Each new study adds another layer of confidence, reinforcing the idea that the right dietary choices can influence health outcomes in ways once thought possible only through medical intervention. When we look closely at how this food interacts with the body, the most fascinating discoveries often happen at the microscopic level, where molecules communicate, cells respond, and entire biological systems adjust their behavior. At its core, the protective power of this food comes from the way it influences multiple pathways that cancer cells depend on to survive. One of the most important mechanisms is its anti-inflammatory action. Chronic inflammation is a well-known driver of cancer development, creating an environment where abnormal cells can thrive and multiply. Compounds in this food can interrupt the production of inflammatory molecules, calming the internal environment and making it less supportive for tumor growth. Another major pathway involves antioxidants. Inside every cell, normal metabolic processes produce unstable molecules called free radicals. In small amounts, free radicals can play useful roles, but when they accumulate, they damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. Over time, this damage can lead to mutations that trigger uncontrolled cell division. The antioxidants in this food neutralize free radicals before they can cause harm, protecting the integrity of cellular DNA and reducing the risk of mutations that could lead to cancer. Beyond fighting inflammation and oxidative stress, this food also has a direct influence on angiogenesis. Cancer cells often release growth factors that signal the body to build new blood vessels toward them. The bioactive compounds in this food can block these signals, essentially cutting off the nutrient and oxygen supply that tumors need to expand. Without this lifeline, cancer cells are forced into a state of dormancy or die off altogether. This targeted effect on blood vessel growth is one of the most unique and powerful aspects of its action. The immune system also benefits greatly from the compounds in this food. Certain molecules can enhance the activity of natural killer cells and cytotoxic T cells, both of which are specialized for identifying and destroying cells that look abnormal. This boost in immune surveillance means cancer cells have a much harder time evading detection. In addition, some of the food's compounds have been shown to increase the production of signaling proteins called cytokines, which help coordinate a more effective immune response across the body. Another key mechanism involves the regulation of cell life cycles. Healthy cells have built-in instructions for when to grow, when to repair damage, and when to self-destruct if something goes wrong. Cancer cells often override these controls, continuing to divide even when severely damaged. Certain compounds in this food can reactivate the process of apoptosis, programmed cell death, forcing cancer cells to follow the same rules as healthy ones. By restoring this self-destruct mechanism, the food removes one of cancer's greatest advantages. There's also evidence that this food impacts the way cancer cells metabolize energy. Unlike normal cells, which rely on a balance of oxygen-based and glucose-based energy production, many cancer cells rely heavily on glucose fermentation even in the presence of oxygen, a phenomenon known as the Warburg effect. Some compounds in this food can disrupt that abnormal energy production, essentially starving cancer cells of the fuel they depend on. This metabolic interference works in combination with the anti-angiogenic effect to weaken tumors on multiple fronts. The gut microbiome may be another pathway through which this food works. A healthy, diverse population of gut bacteria supports immune function, regulates inflammation, and even produces certain compounds that can suppress tumor development. The fiber and prebiotics in this food help nourish beneficial gut bacteria, indirectly contributing to cancer prevention. By influencing the gut microbiome, the food not only works locally in the digestive tract, but also exerts systemic effects throughout the body. When all these mechanisms operate together, anti-inflammatory action, antioxidant protection, angiogenesis inhibition, immune enhancement, apoptosis activation, metabolic disruption, and microbiome support, they create a hostile environment for cancer cells and a supportive one for healthy cells. This multi-pronged approach is one of the reasons this food is so effective in reducing cancer risk and slowing progression when it occurs. The real power of any health-promoting food comes not from knowing about it, but from finding practical ways to make it part of your daily routine. The body thrives on consistency, and the protective compounds in this food work best when they are present in your system regularly. It's not about occasional doses or relying on it once in a while. It's about building habits that deliver these protective molecules day after day. One of the simplest ways to begin is by adding it to meals you already enjoy. Because it works well with a variety of flavors, it can be blended into breakfasts, lunches, dinners, or even snacks without feeling like a chore or a drastic dietary change. Incorporating it into breakfast can be as simple as adding it to a smoothie, sprinkling it over oatmeal, or combining it with other nutrient-rich ingredients like berries, nuts, or seeds. In this way, you begin your day by feeding your body something that strengthens its defenses. For lunch, it can be included in salads, soups, or grain bowls, where it not only adds flavor, but also works in synergy with other vegetables and healthy fats to boost absorption of its key compounds. At dinner, it can be part of a main dish or served on the side, allowing you to end your day with another dose of its protective power. One of the benefits of this food is its versatility in preparation. Some of its compounds are more available when eaten raw, while others are enhanced through gentle cooking. This means you can enjoy it in different forms to maximize its full range of benefits. Light steaming, sautéing with olive oil, roasting, or consuming it fresh all provide slightly different nutrient profiles, so alternating between these methods ensures you get the most from it. Pairing it with healthy fats like avocado, nuts, or extra virgin olive oil can help your body absorb its fat-soluble compounds more effectively. It's also possible to combine this food with others that have complementary cancer-fighting properties. For example, pairing it with ingredients rich in vitamin C can increase the bioavailability of certain protective molecules, while combining it with foods high in omega-3 fatty acids can create a more anti-inflammatory environment in the body. These small adjustments not only enhance its benefits but also add variety and enjoyment to your meals. For those with busy schedules, preparation in advance can make a huge difference. Washing, chopping, or pre-cooking portions of this food means it's always ready to add into whatever you're making. Batch cooking for the week can help maintain the habit without feeling rushed or burdened by last-minute decisions. Even keeping a portion ready in the refrigerator as a quick snack option ensures that you're consistently giving your body access to its beneficial compounds. Another important aspect is to consider the quality of the source. Choosing organic or locally grown options when possible can reduce your exposure to pesticides and ensure you're getting the highest nutrient content. Freshness matters. Over time, some of the bioactive compounds can degrade, so selecting fresh, vibrant produce and storing it properly will help preserve its potency. Beyond the food itself, how you integrate it into your lifestyle plays a role in how effective it is. Eating it alongside other healthy habits, such as regular physical activity, adequate hydration, quality sleep, and stress management, creates a supportive internal environment where its compounds can do their best work. Every meal becomes an opportunity to feed your body something that actively works to guard against disease. By turning it from an occasional choice into a daily habit, you build a steady defense system that operates in the background every single day, supporting the health of your cells and reducing the chances that cancer cells will ever gain a foothold.